What we have here is we have a lot of red blood cells that are stacked together in a formation called rouleau, where there's very poor circulation, very poor oxygen CO2 exchange. The red blood cells should be visible and separate like this one right here. Instead, they're stacked up, and there's multiple causes of that, including dehydration, poor digestion of protein, excess carbohydrates in the blood, sugars too high in the blood, and overall a low negative charge in the blood, where the potential, the zeta potential in the cells has been diminished, so the cells just clump. Also, we have a lot of inflammation in the background. So you can see the sort of spider web formation in the background. That's inflammation. That can be caused by injury to the tissues. It can be caused by stress. It can be caused by liver not working properly and filtering the blood. Multiple causes of that too. Here we can see a very small white blood cell, actually. In the case of this blood sample, the person's white blood cells were too small. You can see this one here too. They should be 2 or 3 times the size of the red cells, and they're about maybe 1.5 times the size of a red cell. So they're not in ideal shape. So this is the picture of a sample of blood I looked at within the last week. So after that last sample of blood we looked at, the person did a 1-hour treatment with a frequency device called a Healy, which sends microcurrent and specific frequencies into the person's body, and that was 60 minutes. It was on a program called Immune System. So immediately after that treatment, I looked at her blood, and this is what we saw. It was about 50% of the blood improved. So instead of being stacked up, the red blood cells, you can see them here, they're separate. They actually can exchange CO2 for oxygen now. They can actually get the job done, what they need to be done. Interestingly also, her white blood cells were bigger, and the program she ran was Immune System. The white blood cells here, you can see, are about 2 times the size of the red cells. There's another white blood cell, more in the correct size. Some of the inflammation is gone too. The background doesn't have all that spider web type fibrin in the background. Let me run the video here a little bit. You can see overall the blood is a lot better. I would say it's a good 50% better in terms of the viscosity of the blood. The blood cells are actually moving. They're not all clumped. So essentially what happened is that we increased a lot of negative charge into the blood. And that negative charge helps the cells separate from each other. So they have more of a surface area to get oxygen. And they have a lot more flow and movement of nutrients and energy through her body. And that's what her blood looked like literally 1 hour after the first sample, after she did a 1-hour treatment on Immune System.